Captain Jake Morrison stood at the window of Luna Station and looked out at the stars. He had been waiting for 3 hours. The aliens were coming today, and everyone on Earth was nervous. Jake touched the comm device on his wrist and spoke quietly. "Control, this is Morrison. Any word from the long-range sensors?" "Negative, Captain. Still nothing on the scopes." Jake sighed. The waiting was the worst part. 3 months ago, Earth had received its first message from space, not the kind scientists had hoped for. The message was simple and cold. It said that representatives of the Zephyrian Collective would arrive to discuss Earth's future. The tone made it clear this was not a friendly visit. Dr. Lisa Carter walked into the observation deck. She carried a tablet and looked tired. Lisa had been working day and night to prepare for this meeting. As Earth's top expert on alien life, she was the one who would try to talk to these visitors. "Any sign of them yet?" Lisa asked. "Nothing, but they said they would be here today." Jake turned from the window. "Are you ready for this?" Lisa shrugged. "As ready as anyone can be for first contact with aliens who sound like they want to conquer us." The two humans had become friends over the past few weeks. Both were scared, but neither would admit it. Earth had only been in space for a few decades. Luna Station was humanity's greatest achievement, and it was just a small base on the moon. If these aliens were hostile, Earth was in serious trouble. General Rick Hayes entered the room. He was older than Jake and Lisa, with gray hair and hard eyes. Rick had fought in 3 wars on Earth, and now commanded the planet's defense forces. Those forces were small and weak compared to what might be coming. "I just got off the phone with the president," Rick said. "All military units are on high alert. Not that it will matter much if these visitors have the technology. I think they—" "Do we have to try diplomacy first?" Lisa said. "Maybe they are reasonable." Rick laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Lisa, they sent us a message that sounded like a demand. Reasonable people don't do that." Before Lisa could answer, alarms began ringing throughout the station. Jake grabbed his comm device. "Morrison here. Report. Captain, we have multiple contacts dropping out of faster-than-light travel. Distance is 200,000 kilometers and closing." Jake felt his stomach drop. "How many ships?" "Sir, I count 12 vessels. They are big, Captain. Much bigger than anything we have." The 3 humans rushed to the command center. The main screen showed Luna Station's view of space. At first, Jake saw nothing. Then the computer enhanced the image, and he saw them. The alien ships were beautiful and terrifying. They looked like crystals floating in space, with smooth curves and no visible weapons. But Jake knew that anything that could travel between stars had technology far beyond Earth's reach. "Incoming transmission," the communications officer reported. "Put it on screen," Jake ordered. The image that appeared made everyone in the room step back. The alien looked somewhat like a human, but taller and thinner. Its skin was pale blue, and its eyes were large and completely black. When it spoke, its voice was translated by some kind of machine. "I am High Commander Veltar of this collective. I wish to speak with the leaders of this primitive world." Jake stepped forward. "I am Captain Morrison, representing Earth. We welcome you to our system." The alien's expression did not change. "You welcome us? How amusing. You act as if you have a choice in this matter." Lisa moved next to Jake. "I am Dr. Carter. We received your message and are prepared to discuss our future relationship." Veltar looked at her with what might have been contempt. "Relationship? You misunderstand the situation, primitive one. We are here to inform you of your options, not to negotiate." Rick stepped forward, his hand moving toward his weapon. Jake quickly grabbed his arm and shook his head. Starting a fight now would be suicide. "What options?" Jake asked. "Your species will join the collective as a client race. You will provide raw materials and labor for our empire. In return, we will allow you to continue existing. This is generous, considering your obvious limitations. The room fell silent. Lisa found her voice first. And if we refuse, refusal is not logical. You have seen our ships. Your technology is thousands of years behind ours. Your world is divided by countless conflicts. You poison your own atmosphere and fight wars over resources. You are clearly not ready for independence. Veltar paused and seemed to study the humans. However, we are not without mercy. We will give you 30 of your days to consider our offer. Use this time wisely. This is not an offer, Rick said, his voice tight with anger. This is a threat. Call it what you wish. The result will be the same. Your primitive civilization will serve the collective, willingly or not. Jake felt anger rising in his chest, but he kept his voice calm. We need time to discuss this with our government. Of course, we understand that primitive minds work slowly. We will wait in your outer system. Do not mistake our patience for weakness. We have conquered 17 worlds. Your Earth will be the 18th. The transmission ended. The three humans stood in silence, staring at the blank screen. Well, Lisa said finally. That went about as badly as possible. They think we are animals, Rick said. Primitive animals that they can order around. Jake walked back to the window. The alien ships were invisible now, but he knew they were out there, waiting. Maybe they are right. Maybe we are too primitive to fight them. No, Rick said firmly. We are not animals, and we are not slaves. If they want our world, they will have to take it. Lisa looked at both men. They have faster-than-light travel, energy weapons, and ships the size of cities. What do we have? Rick smiled grimly. We have something they do not expect. We have the refusal to give up. Jake nodded slowly. Rick is right. They called us primitive. Maybe they are about to learn what that really means. The three humans looked out at the stars, knowing that in 30 days, Earth would have to make a choice. Submit to alien masters, or fight a war they could not win. But as Jake stared into space, he realized something important. The aliens had made a mistake. They thought being primitive made humans weak. They were about to discover that sometimes being primitive meant being dangerous. 25 days had passed since the Zephyrians gave their ultimatum. Earth was busy preparing for war. President Maria Santos stood before the United Nations Assembly in New York. Representatives from every nation on Earth filled the Great Hall. The weight of humanity's future rested on her shoulders. Fellow leaders, President Santos began, we have heard the alien demands. They want us to become their slaves. They believe we are too primitive to resist. I say they are wrong. The hall erupted in voices. Some delegates shouted agreement. Others called for caution. President Santos raised her hand for silence. I know many of you fear their technology. Yes, they have weapons we cannot match. But they have made one critical error. They do not understand what it means to be human. In the Pacific Ocean, Colonel Ben Parker crouched inside a small submarine. His team of 6 soldiers floated 3 miles above a crashed Zephyrian scout ship. The small alien vessel had gone down during a reconnaissance mission, and Earth forces had been watching it for 2 weeks. Remember, Ben whispered into his comm, we need their technology intact. No explosives unless we have no choice. The submarine descended through dark water. Ben's heart pounded as they approached the alien craft. It lay on the ocean floor like a sleeping beast, its crystal-like hull still glowing faintly. There, pointed Sergeant Tony Blake, the team's demolitions expert. Looks like a way in. The alien ship had a crack along one side where it had hit the seafloor. Ben's team swam through the opening into a chamber filled with strange blue light. Everything was smooth and curved, nothing like human technology. Back at the United Nations, President Santos continued her speech. The aliens see our wars and call us primitive. They see our struggles and call us weak. But every conflict has taught us to adapt. Every challenge has made us stronger. In a secret laboratory beneath the Pentagon, engineer Kate Williams studied pieces of alien technology that Ben's team had recovered from earlier missions. The devices were beautiful, but completely alien. No buttons, no controls that humans could understand. "It is like trying to operate a computer with our minds," Kate muttered to her assistant, Dr. Steve Johnson. "Maybe that is exactly what we need to do," Steve replied. He placed his hand on a smooth alien panel. Nothing happened. Kate watched him and had an idea. "Steve, what if it responds to something other than touch? What if it reads our intentions?" She closed her eyes and placed both hands on the alien device. Instead of trying to understand how it worked, she simply thought about what she wanted it to do. The device began to glow. "Kate, look." Steve pointed at the panel. Symbols appeared in the air above it, floating like holograms in the submarine. Ben's team found the ship's main computer core. It was a sphere of crystal that pulsed with internal light. Ben reached for it carefully. "Sir," whispered Tony, "we have company." Through the ship's transparent walls, Ben saw lights moving in the dark water. More alien vessels were approaching. "Grab everything you can carry," Ben ordered. "We leave now." The team filled their bags with alien devices and swam quickly back to their submarine. As they escaped, Ben saw the rescue ships arrive at the crash site. The aliens would know someone had been there, but it was too late. Earth now had samples of their technology. Dr. Lisa Carter worked in her laboratory on Luna Station, studying biological samples from the alien visitors. The Zephyrians had left behind traces of their presence, and Lisa was learning surprising things about them. "General Hayes," she called over the comm, "you need to see this." Rick Hayes arrived at her lab within minutes. Lisa showed him images on her computer screen. "These are brain scans of the aliens," Lisa explained. "Look at this section here. It controls creativity and adaptation. In humans, this area is very active. In the Zephyrians, it is almost completely dormant." "What does that mean?" Rick asked. "It means they think in patterns. They solve problems the same way every time. They have eliminated unpredictability from their minds." Rick smiled grimly. "So they cannot adapt to new situations." "Exactly. Their advanced technology has made them rigid. They expect everything to follow logical patterns." Meanwhile, Major Sam Rodriguez trained Special Forces units in the mountains of Colorado. His soldiers learned to fight without following standard military procedures. Sam taught them to be unpredictable. "Forget everything you learned in military school," Sam told his troops. "The aliens expect us to fight like soldiers. Instead, we fight like humans." He showed them how to use the terrain, how to strike quickly and disappear, how to make the enemy afraid. These were not the tactics of a modern army. They were the methods humans had used for thousands of years. Back in Kate's laboratory, she made another breakthrough. She connected an alien power cell to a human computer. The result was amazing. The computer became 10 times faster and could process information in ways Kate had never seen. "Steve, we are not copying their technology," Kate said excitedly. "We are making it better." "How is that possible?" Steve asked. "Because we think differently than they do. They design everything to work one way. We make it work in ways they never imagined." Kate's discovery spread quickly through Earth's scientific community. Human engineers began combining alien technology with their own designs. The results were weapons and devices that neither species could have created alone. President Santos concluded her speech to the United Nations. "In 5 days, the aliens expect our answer. I propose we give them one they will never forget. We choose to fight." The vote was unanimous. Every nation on Earth agreed to resist the Zephyrian Collective. High Commander Veltar received the news in his flagship beyond Neptune. He was not surprised. Primitive species often chose to fight before accepting the inevitable. "Prepare the fleet for orbital bombardment," Veltar ordered his subordinates. A few destroyed cities will change their minds. But Veltar had made the same mistake as every conqueror in human history. He thought superior technology guaranteed victory. He was about to learn that humans had something his people had lost long ago: the will to fight against impossible odds. On Luna Station, Jake Morrison watched Earth's first warship launch from the moon's surface. The EU's Defiance was small compared to alien vessels, but it carried something the aliens did not expect. It carried human crews who refused to surrender. Dr. Carter joined Jake at the observation window. "Do you think we have a chance?" she asked. Jake thought about Kate's hybrid technology, Sam's unpredictable tactics, and Ben's captured alien devices. He thought about President Santos's speech and the fire in Rick Hayes' eyes. "Lisa," Jake said, "they called us primitive. They think that makes us weak. Tomorrow, they learn the truth. Being primitive means we never forgot how to fight for our survival." The war was coming, and humanity was ready. The Zephyrian fleet appeared over Earth like a storm of crystalline light. 200 warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel and took positions around the planet. Each ship was 3 times larger than anything humans had ever built. Hi. Commander Veltar stood on the bridge of his flagship and looked down at the blue world below. From space, Earth looked peaceful and beautiful. Soon, it would learn the price of defying the collective. "Open a channel to the primitive world," Veltar commanded. On Luna Station, Jake Morrison received the transmission. Every screen on Earth showed the alien commander's cold face. "People of Earth," Veltar began, "your leaders have chosen foolishly. We offered you a place in our empire. You have refused. Now you will see the consequences of your primitive thinking." Jake gripped the arms of his command chair. Around the world, billions of humans watched and waited. "We will demonstrate our power," Veltar continued. "Perhaps watching your cities burn will teach you wisdom." The transmission ended. Veltar turned to his weapons officer. "Target the largest population centers. Destroy 3 cities. That should be enough to break their will." "Yes, Commander," the officer replied. Targeting London, Tokyo, and New York. From the alien ships, beams of pure energy lanced down toward Earth. The weapons were precise and terrible. In seconds, 3 great cities vanished in flashes of light that could be seen from space. Veltar waited for Earth's surrender. Instead, he received a transmission that surprised him. President Santos appeared on his screen. Behind her stood the leaders of every major nation on Earth. Her voice was steady and filled with anger. "You have murdered millions of innocent people," she said. "You think this will make us surrender? You are wrong. You have just made 7 billion humans very angry." The transmission ended before Veltar could respond. He had expected panic and submission. Instead, he saw defiance. "Sir," his sensor officer reported, "we are detecting launches from the planet's surface." "Military response?" Veltar asked. "Unknown. The objects are small and moving in erratic patterns." Above Earth, Captain Amy Lewis piloted the EU's Defiance toward the alien fleet. Her ship was tiny compared to the enemy vessels, but it carried humanity's hopes. Beside her flew 50 other ships, each one built with hybrid human-alien technology. "All ships, this is Lewis," Amy spoke into her com. "Remember, we are not trying to win this battle. We are trying to survive it and learn." The human fleet looked pathetic next to the alien armada. The Zephyrians barely noticed them until the shooting started. Amy's ship darted between 2 massive alien cruisers. Her weapons fired bursts of energy that Kate Williams had modified using captured technology. The alien shields flickered and sparked. "How is that possible?" Veltar demanded. "Their weapons should not be able to penetrate our defenses." "Sir, they are using modified versions of our own technology," his science officer reported, "but the modifications are illogical. They should not work." Amy smiled grimly as her ship rolled under an alien beam. "The modifications worked because humans thought differently than Kate had combined alien power with human creativity, creating weapons that broke the aliens' own rules. But the human fleet was still outnumbered, 40-1. One by one, Earth's ships were destroyed. Amy watched her friends die in flashes of light, but she kept fighting. "Defiance to all ships," she broadcast. "Fall back to the moon. We have done what we came to do." The surviving human ships retreated, but they had accomplished their mission. They had shown the aliens that Earth would fight. On the planet's surface, the real war was just beginning. Zephyrian landing ships descended on major cities around the world. The aliens expected quick victory over scattered human forces. They found something else entirely. In the ruins of London, Colonel Ben Parker led a group of survivors through the wreckage. The aliens had landed ground troops to secure the area, but they moved in predictable patterns. "There," Ben pointed to a squad of alien soldiers. "They always check buildings from left to right. We hit them when they reach the middle." Ben's team attacked from 3 directions at once. The aliens had better weapons and armor, but they were not prepared for human tactics. They expected enemies to fight in formation, following military rules. Instead, humans fought like wolves. Major Sam Rodriguez's special forces struck alien positions across North America. His soldiers used hit-and-run tactics that confused the enemy. They would attack, cause damage, and disappear before the aliens could respond. "They keep trying to predict our movements," Sam told his troops, "but we do not follow patterns. We are chaos." In Tokyo, Tony Blake organized civilian resistance. Ordinary people fought back with improvised weapons and guerrilla tactics. The aliens had superior technology, but they did not understand the human spirit. "They think destroying our cities will break us," Tony said to a group of volunteers. "They do not know that humans fight harder when we have nothing left to lose." Dr. Lisa Carter worked frantically in her laboratory beneath the ruins of Geneva. She had made a crucial discovery about Zephyrian technology. Their weapons and shields were controlled by artificial intelligence systems that followed strict programming. "Rick," she called to General Hayes over a secure channel. "I know how to hurt them." "Tell me," Rick replied from his command bunker. "Their AI systems cannot adapt to unexpected situations. If we can create enough chaos, their own technology will turn against them." Lisa had been working on a computer virus designed to exploit the rigid thinking of alien machines. It would not destroy their systems, but it would confuse them at critical moments. Meanwhile, Kate Williams continued her work with captured alien technology. Each day brought new discoveries. The aliens had amazing tools, but they used them in limited ways. "Steve," Kate said to her assistant, "look at this power core. The aliens use it to provide steady energy. But what if we overload it?" "It would explode," Steve replied. "Exactly. They never considered using their own technology as weapons because they think in safety patterns. We think in survival patterns." Kate's modifications allowed human forces to turn alien equipment into improvised explosives. Captured alien vehicles became bombs. Stolen alien computers became sources of intelligence. High Commander Veltar grew frustrated as reports came in from the surface. His forces controlled the major cities, but humans continued to resist. They appeared everywhere and nowhere, striking without warning and vanishing like ghosts. "How many of them are there?" Veltar demanded. "Sir, we estimate 30 million active combatants worldwide," his intelligence officer reported. 30 million. That is impossible. No species maintains that large a military force. "Sir, they are not all military. Many appear to be civilians who have taken up arms." Veltar could not understand this concept. In Zephyrian society, only trained soldiers fought wars. The idea that ordinary people would resist trained military forces seemed illogical. But humans had been fighting for survival since they lived in caves. Every human was a potential warrior, and every warrior was unpredictable. As the weeks passed, the war settled into a pattern. The aliens controlled the skies and the cities, but humans controlled everything else. They struck from forests and mountains, from sewers and ruins, from places the aliens never thought to look. Captain Amy Lewis, now commanding the rebuilt human fleet from Luna Station, watched reports of the ground war with growing hope. They expected us to fight like them, she told Jake Morrison. Instead, we fight like humans. Jake nodded. The question is, can we keep this up long enough to find a way to win? Amy looked at the tactical displays, showing alien positions around Earth. The enemy was still stronger, still more advanced. But for the first time since the war began, they looked confused. Jake, Amy said, I think we are teaching them something they never learned. What is that? How to be afraid. 6 months had passed since the Zephyrians invaded Earth. What was supposed to be a quick conquest had become a grinding war of attrition. Kate Williams stood in her new laboratory, built inside an abandoned subway tunnel beneath New York. Above ground, alien forces patrolled the ruins of the city. Below, she worked on humanity's most ambitious project yet. Steve, hand me that power coupling, Kate said, not looking up from her work. Steve Johnson passed her the device, which was a mixture of human and alien technology. Kate had learned to combine the two in ways that amazed even her. Is it ready? Steve asked. Kate stepped back and looked at her creation. The hybrid starship engine was smaller than anything the aliens used, but it was more flexible. Human intuition had found ways to make alien technology work better than its creators intended. It is ready, Kate said. Now we just need ships too. Put it in. Across the world, humans had been building not in factories, but in hidden workshops and secret facilities. They took salvaged alien materials and human ingenuity to create weapons of war. Commander Alex Turner led his team through the ventilation shafts of a Zephyrian command ship orbiting Earth. The aliens never expected anyone to board their vessels during combat, so their security was focused on external threats. Remember, Alex whispered to his soldiers, we are not here to destroy the ship. We are here to capture it. Alex had learned something important about Zephyrian vessels. They were controlled by artificial intelligence systems that could be confused by unexpected situations. If his team could reach the bridge, they might be able to take control of the entire ship. The 6 human soldiers moved through the alien vessel like shadows. They had studied captured Zephyrian equipment for months, learning how their enemies thought and fought. Contact ahead, whispered Sergeant Nancy Price, the team's scout. Alex peered around a corner and saw 2 alien guards. They stood perfectly still, watching a corridor that led to the bridge. Their weapons were advanced, but they held them in regulation positions. Classic Zephyrian formation, Alex muttered. Steve, Tony, take them. The 2 soldiers moved with practiced efficiency. The aliens were stronger and better armed, but they were not prepared for close combat. Humans had been fighting hand-to-hand for thousands of years. The Zephyrians had eliminated such primitive behavior from their society. In 30 seconds, the guards were unconscious. Alex's team continued toward the bridge. On Earth's surface, the war had evolved into something the aliens never expected. Dr. Lisa Carter's computer virus had been spreading through Zephyrian networks for weeks, causing their systems to malfunction at critical moments. Colonel Ben Parker used these glitches to his advantage. His resistance forces struck alien convoys when their shields failed unexpectedly. They captured weapons and vehicles when alien computers froze at the wrong moment. The virus is not destroying their systems, Lisa explained to General Rick Hayes during a secure communication. It is making them unreliable. The aliens rely so heavily on their technology that any failure creates chaos. Rick smiled from his command bunker, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Their strength becomes their weakness. Exactly. They cannot adapt when their computers do not work perfectly. Meanwhile, Major Sam Rodriguez had expanded his Special Forces training to include thousands of volunteers. Ordinary humans learned to fight like guerrillas, using terrain and creativity instead of superior firepower. The aliens fight wars like a chess game, Sam told a group of new recruits in the forests of Canada. Every move is calculated and predictable. We fight like a bar fight. Anything goes. The recruits laughed, but they understood. Human warfare was chaotic and unpredictable because humans themselves were chaotic and unpredictable. Hi, Commander Veltar paced his flagship's bridge, studying reports from across Earth. The conquest that should have taken days was now approaching its 7th month. How many ships have we lost to boarding actions? Veltar asked his tactical officer. 17 vessels have been captured by human assault teams, sir. Another 31 have suffered significant damage from internal sabotage. Veltar could not understand how primitive humans were infiltrating his advanced starships. Zephyrian vessels were designed to fight other starships, not to repel boarding parties armed with stolen weapons and desperate courage. Sir, his communications officer reported. We are receiving a transmission from Earth's surface. Put it through, Veltar ordered. President Santos appeared on the screen. She looked tired, but determined. Behind her stood representatives from every nation that still existed. Commander Veltar, she began, we have a proposal. You are finally ready to surrender? Veltar asked. No, we are ready to negotiate. Veltar laughed. You are in no position to negotiate. We control your skies and your cities, but you do not control Earth, President Santos replied. And you never will. We can keep fighting for years. The question is, how many more ships are you willing to lose? The transmission ended before Veltar could respond. He turned to his tactical display, which showed the current state of the war. His forces controlled less than 30% of Earth's surface. The rest belonged to the humans. On Luna Station, Captain Amy Lewis prepared for humanity's most daring operation yet. The human fleet had grown to over 200 ships, all built with hybrid technology that combined alien power with human innovation. All ship commanders, this is Lewis, she broadcast to the fleet. Operation Prometheus begins in 6 hours. Remember, we are not trying to destroy the alien fleet. We are trying to capture it. Jake Morrison joined Amy on the bridge of the new flagship UES, Defiance 2. The ship was twice the size of the original and carried weapons that even Kate Williams did not fully understand. Do you think this will work? Jake asked. Amy looked at the tactical displays showing the positions of Zephyrian ships around Earth. Jake, 6 months ago, they thought we were too primitive to fight. Today, we are planning to steal their entire fleet. That does not answer my question. Amy smiled. It is a crazy plan that makes no logical sense. In other words, it is perfectly human. The plan was ambitious beyond anything humans had attempted. While Alex Turner's team captured individual ships from the inside, Amy's fleet would attack the alien formation using tactics that no computer could predict. At the same time, ground forces would launch coordinated strikes on every alien facility on Earth. The goal was to create so much chaos that the Zephyrian command structure would collapse. Dr. Carter had prepared a massive version of her computer virus, designed to infect every alien system simultaneously. When it activated, the Zephyrian fleet would be blind and confused for precious minutes. Kate Williams had given the human fleet a secret weapon, engines that could change direction instantly, allowing impossible maneuvers that violated the laws of physics as the aliens understood them. But the most important weapon was something the Zephyrians had never encountered: human unpredictability. All units, this is Morrison. Jake broadcast to forces around the world. In 6 hours, we show these aliens what primitive really means. Across Earth and in space, humans prepared for their most desperate gamble. They were outnumbered and outgunned. But they had learned something during 6 months of war. Being primitive did not mean being weak. It meant being willing to try anything to survive. and humans had been surviving for a very long time. Operation Prometheus began at exactly 0300 Earth's Standard Time. Dr. Lisa Carter activated her virus from a hidden bunker beneath Geneva. Across the solar system, every Zephyrian computer system suddenly became unreliable. Weapons misfired, shields flickered, and navigation systems gave impossible readings. "Hi, Commander." Veltar felt his flagship shudder as its artificial intelligence tried to process conflicting data. "What is happening?" he demanded. "Sir, all systems are experiencing errors," his technical officer reported. "The computers are functioning, but they are making illogical decisions. Repair them immediately." "Sir, we cannot find the source of the problem. It is as if the machines are thinking incorrectly." At that moment, Captain Amy Lewis led the human fleet out from behind the moon. 200 ships moved in a formation that looked like pure chaos, but was actually carefully planned madness. "All ships, execute pattern Delta," Amy commanded. The human fleet scattered in seemingly random directions. Some ships flew straight up, others dove toward Earth, and still others spun in spirals that made no tactical sense. The Zephyrian fleet tried to respond, but their computers could not predict where the human ships would go next. Every time they targeted a human vessel, it was somewhere else. "This is impossible," Veltar muttered. "They are violating basic principles of space combat." His tactical officer looked confused. "Sir, our computers cannot calculate their movement patterns. They appear to be random." "Nothing in warfare is random," Veltar insisted, but he was wrong. Humans had learned to fight without patterns. Amy's pilots flew by instinct and intuition, changing course whenever they felt like it. No computer could predict human creativity. Commander Alex Turner had reached the bridge of his target ship just as the virus activated. The alien crew was struggling with their malfunctioning systems when 6 humans burst through the doors. The Zephyrians were taller and stronger, but they had never fought anyone in hand-to-hand combat. Alex's team moved like wolves, fast and vicious, and completely unpredictable. "Surrender your vessel," Alex ordered, pointing his captured alien weapon at the ship's captain. The Zephyrian officer looked at him with confusion. "This is not proper military protocol." "We are not proper military," Alex replied. "We are humans." Within minutes, Alex controlled the bridge. The ship's artificial intelligence accepted his commands because its programming said that whoever controlled the bridge commanded the vessel. Across the alien fleet, similar scenes played out. Human boarding parties captured ship after ship, turning the Zephyrian fleet against itself on Earth's surface. The coordinated attack reached every alien facility simultaneously. Colonel Ben Parker led an assault on the main command center in the ruins of London. "Remember," Ben told his troops, "the aliens expect us to attack their defenses. Instead, we attack their assumptions." Ben's forces did not try to break through the alien shields. Instead, they tunneled underneath and emerged inside the facility. The Zephyrians had never considered that enemies might come from below. Major Sam Rodriguez struck alien positions across North America using tactics that broke every rule of warfare. His soldiers attacked from impossible angles, retreated when they should advance, and advanced when retreat was logical. "Sir," a Zephyrian field commander reported to his superior, "the humans are not following any recognizable strategy." "Then predict their next move," the superior ordered. "I cannot, sir. They appear to be making decisions randomly." Tony Blake led civilian resistance fighters in a desperate assault on alien supply lines. His people had no military training, but they had something more valuable. They had the determination of people fighting for their homes. "They think we are an army," Tony told his volunteers. "We are not. We are 7 billion individuals who refuse to surrender." The aliens tried to counter human tactics, but their rigid thinking worked against them. They had spent centuries perfecting the art of predictable warfare. They could not adapt to human chaos. In space, Amy Lewis's fleet danced through the alien formation like leaves in a hurricane. Human ships appeared where they should not be, attacked targets they should ignore, and retreated from victories they should pursue. Defiance, too, to all ships. Amy broadcast, target the flagship. All weapons, full chaos pattern. Every human ship in the fleet opened fire on Veltar's vessel at the same time. But they did not aim for the same target. Each ship chose a different system to attack, creating a web of destruction that overwhelmed the alien shields. Veltar watched his carefully ordered fleet dissolve into madness. Human ships darted between his vessels like angry insects. Captured Zephyrian ships turned their weapons on their former allies. Nothing made sense anymore. "Sir," his weapons officer reported, "we are losing ships faster than we can count them." "How is this possible?" Veltar demanded. "They are primitives with inferior technology." "Sir, I think that is exactly why they are winning." Kate Williams watched the battle from Luna Station, monitoring the performance of her hybrid engines. The human ships moved in ways that violated Zephyrian understanding of physics. But they worked because Kate had combined alien technology with human intuition. "Steve," she called to her assistant, "look at this. The alien computers are trying to calculate our ship movements." "Can they do it?" Steve asked. "No, because we are not calculating them either. Our pilots are flying by feel." The battle reached its climax when pilot Sarah Mitchell performed an impossible maneuver. Her fighter suddenly reversed direction at full speed, something that should have killed her instantly. Instead, Kate's inertial dampeners kept her alive while she flew straight through the shields of the alien flagship. Sarah's ship smashed into the flagship's bridge at 300 kilometers per hour. The impact destroyed her fighter and severely damaged the alien command center. Veltar found himself lying on the deck of his ruined bridge, staring up at sparking electronics and failing life support systems. Around him, his crew struggled with equipment that no longer obeyed logical commands. "Sir," his communications officer called weakly, "we are receiving a transmission from the human fleet." "Put it through," Veltar ordered. Captain Amy Lewis appeared on the cracked screen. She looked tired but victorious. "High Commander Veltar," Amy began, "your fleet is defeated. Most of your ships have been captured. Your ground forces are surrounded. I offer you the same choice you gave us. Surrender, or be destroyed." Veltar looked around his ruined bridge. Through the shattered windows, he could see human ships everywhere. Many of them had been Zephyrian vessels just hours ago. "How?" he asked simply. Amy seemed to understand the question. "You called us primitive. You thought that made us weak. But primitive means we never forgot how to fight for survival. Primitive means we adapt. Primitive means we never give up." Veltar closed his eyes. For the first time in his life, he faced a situation his training had not prepared him for. Defeat by an inferior enemy. But were humans really inferior? They had taken his advanced technology and made it work better. They had fought a war without following any rules he understood. They had turned their greatest weakness into their greatest strength. "I surrender," Veltar said quietly. The war was over. 3 months later, Dr. Lisa Carter stood before the Galactic Council on the planet Zephyr Prime. She represented Earth as humanity's first ambassador to the wider galaxy. "Honored council members," Lisa began, "you invited us here to discuss Earth's membership in the galactic community. The council consisted of representatives from 12 different species, all of them more advanced than humanity." They looked at Lisa with a mixture of curiosity and respect. "We have studied your war with the Zephyrian Collective," the council speaker said. "We find your victory, unexpected." Lisa smiled. Unexpected is a very human word. "How did you defeat forces so much more advanced than your own?" "We did not defeat their technology," Lisa explained. "We defeated their thinking." The Zephyrians had eliminated chaos from their society. They made everything predictable and logical. But life is not logical. Life is messy and unpredictable and wonderful. She paused and looked around the chamber. You call us primitive because we still have wars and conflicts. But those conflicts taught us to adapt. Every challenge made us stronger. Every failure taught us to try something new. The council speaker leaned forward. Are you saying that conflict is necessary for advancement? I am saying that the ability to handle conflict is necessary for survival. You cannot eliminate all challenges from life. You can only learn to overcome them with creativity and determination. Lisa thought about Jake Morrison, now commanding Earth's new space fleet. She thought about Kate Williams, who was teaching alien engineers how to think outside their programming. She thought about all the humans who had fought and died to prove that being primitive sometimes meant being unstoppable. The Zephyrians called us primitive, Lisa continued. They were right. We are primitive. We fight, we struggle, we make mistakes. But we also adapt, we innovate, and we never surrender. That is what makes us human. The Council voted unanimously to offer Earth full membership in the galactic community. Not as a client race, but as equals. As Lisa left the council chamber, she received a message from Earth. It was from President Santos, who was preparing to welcome the first alien diplomatic mission to visit Earth peacefully. Ambassador Carter, the message read. The Zephyrians have requested permission to study human military tactics. They want to learn how to think unpredictably. I told them we would be happy to teach them, as long as they remember one important lesson. Lisa smiled as she read the final line of the message. Never underestimate someone just because they are different from you. Sometimes, being primitive means being perfect. The galaxy would never be the same